Stress has a huge impact on health. We can have stress, but not be stressed. There is a normal amount of stress that we should all have in order to be motivated to do things. Imagine you had zero stress or anxiety at all. Would you get out of bed? Would you lay around? Would you clean? Would you work? Would you go to school? What would you do if there was zero concern about making enough money to survive, graduating school, whatever it is? If you had zero stress, you'd be extremely unproductive. So there is a magic amount of stress or anxiety that makes us go, I should get out of bed today. I should go to work. I should be productive. A little bit of that should that gets us moving. However, for a lot of folks, it goes far beyond that. The should becomes too big, and the amount of shoulds become too many. People become overwhelmed and most commonly exhausted. So how many of you are feeling that the amount of stuff you need to do is exhausting, that you're tired just thinking about it? See, there's these chemicals that are released into your bloodstream when stress hits. Now, normally, when it's the right amount for productivity, it's the amount that just gives you that little bit of adrenaline that goes, all right, get out of bed, time to go, time to work. But if you have the high levels of those stress hormones running through your body, what that does is that's useful in an emergency. If there's an emergency going on and you have to run, for example, those stress hormones help you go. But if you are experiencing high level of stress hormones every single day, at a high level, it actually wears you out, increases your risk of things like heart disease, high blood pressure, but also IBS. Oh my goodness, people with IBS, the stress is just going right into their guts, and increases your risk of things like autoimmune diseases. While many people who come to me to reverse their autoimmune diseases want to talk about their diet, they often push back when I talk about their stress, and they make excuses. Moms especially. I tell a mom to get 30 minutes of a relaxing self-care activity a day. I don't have time for that. I've got to do this, and this. I got to keep my household running. I have to take care of my kids. I got to do this. And I keep telling them, but you're exhausted and you're sick. If you don't change the way you treat yourself, soon you're not going to be able to do anything on your list. You have to be on the list in terms of your mental health, your relaxation, your sleep. And if you're not taking care of your mental health, eventually you will become too exhausted and sick to be able to do anything on that list. We've worked with someone just recently in rapid recovery who is an amazing mom. She's homeschooling a whole pack of kids, managing her house, and also feeling just exhausted all the time. And we kept saying, listen, we gotta lower the stress. It's overwhelming you. You're unhappy and you're exhausted, and your body's telling you it's too much. And when she would push back at first, it was more like, well, other moms seem to be doing it. And we had to say, listen, you don't know anything about how those moms are handling it. A lot of people will just go through it all with a smile on their face, and they are exhausted on the inside. They are sick and in pain. They're just not saying it. Or if they're not, maybe they're doing a lot more self-care than you are, and you just don't know it. Because you can have stress and not be stressed. I have stress. I have clients and patients all over the world with serious illnesses that I'm helping them with every single day. You know, I'm raising my son. I help out my family. There's things in my life that are stressful, but I don't let it emotionally tax me because I take care of myself. You know, if you're donating blood, you can't donate blood every day. You can't donate blood every week. You have to wait long enough for you to replenish your blood supply before you donate blood again. Why? Because otherwise you will die. Moms especially, but other folks too, often treat themselves as if they are a blood donor, an energy donor, a love donor, a support donor, but they never take the time to replenish it. If you keep giving and giving and giving, and you don't take time out for your self-care, you will collapse from the exhaustion or the illness. That's what's gonna happen. And that's why I always say that if you think you're too busy for self-care, you will eventually be too sick to be busy. Any of you listening realize I am exhausted all the time. Even if I get enough sleep, the reason you're exhausted is not then because of your sleep. It's because your brain is not getting the rest it needs in terms of enjoying your life, self-care. Mental health is essential to the quality of our life and the quality of our health. So I hope that helps all of you be able to make some better choices about that.